Hi, my name is Joel Coker, and this is a quick testimony of what the Lord's done in my life. I grew up in a Christian home and knew the Lord and gave my life to Him when I was very young. But when I got older, I actually fell away from the Lord and started getting into drugs and partying and drinking and sex and all that life. Just grew really hardened at heart. And when I was about 16, I actually overdosed from drugs and died at Manatee Memorial Hospital. But due to the prayers of my family and John and Michelle, who actually came to the hospital as well, actually came back to life, and the Lord spared my life. But I still didn't heed the warning of the Lord or listen to Him or come back to Him, and I just kept doing my own thing, drinking really heavily. And that same year, I ended up losing my best friend in a fight with some kids. That really just made me even more hardened, and the Lord was just calling me, but I wouldn't come to Him. I've met up a few times throughout the years with John Swirsky, and he would just sit and listen and talk to me, and I knew the Lord was drawing, pulling on my heart, but I just would not come to Him, and I kept doing my own thing. When I was about 20 years old, I lost my oldest sister, who she had a cardiac arrest. She had been drinking and had done some of her pain medicine and passed away. But the Word says that what the enemy's meant for evil, the Lord uses for good and turns to good. And through that, my family ended up getting back together. My parents, who had separated, ended up coming back together. Eventually, I started going to the front. And even though I thought it was all fake and everyone, everything was fake and there was nothing more to this, I just kept coming. And the Word says that the Father draws men unto Him, and it's through Him that we're saved. And I started going to the front. And first it was every once a month, and then it was every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and eventually I started going every week. And one day I just went to the front, and I was just sitting in one of the pews, and it was dark, and everyone's worshiping, and I was just sitting there, and I was sick of the life I was in. I was sick of the things I was doing, and I was just ready for something new. I was ready for the Lord, and I didn't know what I wanted exactly, but I just cried out to Jesus. And He heard me, and He actually encountered me in that moment. And all desires for alcohol, all desires for partying, all those worldly desires just left. And right there, sitting in one of the aisles at the front in December of 2005, and He encountered me and changed my life forever. I started weeping for the first time. I hadn't wept in years. Started weeping for the first time. My heart, that was a heart of stone, became a heart of flesh. And I gave my life to Him, and I've never been the same since. And when I had overdosed and died, the doctor said I'd never be able to think again because of oxygen not going to my brain, and I wasn't breathing for 30 minutes. And I ended up actually going to the University of Florida, graduating from there, ended up getting a really good job in Orlando in engineering. I have a wife and a child on the way, and He's just changed my life, and I owe it all to the Lord. And I just want to thank John and Michelle in the front and their ministry, and how they poured into me and discipled me over the years, and truly made me into the man that I am today. And we're so blessed to know them. Thank you.